Alright guys, so welcome to a brand new video with something new that we are trying out today. We're going to do a speed test between the Snapdragon 870 and 860, Poco X3 Pro and the Mi 11X. The only twist in the tail over here is we are not talking about MIUI, we are talking about the official Pixel Experience ROM based on Android 12. Before we get into the details, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to Phone Ops. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Now before we actually begin with the video, you see these particular details in each and every video on Telegram, and we have more than 1700 to 1800 members on Telegram. You can join us there, get all the help, new ideas and stuff like that. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Now let's talk about the testing setup. I've installed official Pixel Experience on both the devices, although on this one, the Poco X3 Pro, it is a little more matured. This is the initial build, so expect things to be very simple and sweet because we are going to the T as far as comparison is concerned. We have all the apps laid side by side. We have almost similar amount of batteries on both the devices. Everything is the same apart from the chipset and the hardware, of course. So what we're going to do is, as you can see over here, on the 11X, you have very minimal changelog. On the Poco X3 Pro, you do have quite a lot of things that have changed because this device got the official Pixel Experience Android 12 earlier. Now, that's not what we're going to talk about. If you see over here, that is how we are going to run the testing round. We will first do a reboot test because as you can see, on both the devices, we're going to clear the memory completely. So nothing in memory over here, and once the reboot test is done, we'll go to the app launch and the in-memory test and stuff like that. So let's press and hold the power button here, press and hold the power button here, and let's click on restart. That's 3, 2, 1. Let's see which device wins. Now the Poco X3 Pro right off the bat shut down quickly, which is a little surprising, and this is a fun speed test. This is not to prove anything, but it really will go to show off that on a custom ROM, what are the differences that you can expect in terms of a Snapdragon 860 and 870? Does a custom ROM really make a lot of difference? Optimization make really a lot of difference? And as you can see, the Poco X3 Pro is the clear winner over here. Now we're not going to stop at that. What we're going to do is we'll then power both the devices off. So let's go ahead and unlock this one. Let's go ahead and unlock this one. Let's power this off first. So power off, and then let's power this off as well. Let's allow both the phones to power off. Now the Poco X3 Pro, for some reason, I don't know if it's the optimization or something else, it's shutting down quickly. Now I'll keep my finger on both the devices. 3, 2, 1 to start off at the same time. Okay. The 11X got the light earlier and the Poco got the light now though. So, in both the tests initially, the Poco X3 Pro was winning. Now over here, I think the Mi 11X might win. Let's see if the Poco X3 Pro can catch up. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so this thing on Pixel Experience is performing really well. Now, why do these tests matter for you guys? Because understand, I know you're going to game, say for 1 or 2 hours a day. Majority of the population will use the user interface, basic things like shutting down the phone, turning it on, launching applications. These are the things that people do most of the times on their smartphones, and really the 860 to 870 difference should not translate to something huge when it comes to those experiences, and that is the reason we are doing this particular speed test. Now we have booted, we have allowed the phone to settle down. As you can see, we don't have any major notifications over here. We can remove all the notifications from here, no apps in memory, and we will start from here by launching the heavy games because I want to launch them first and I want to keep them in memory and then see what really happens there. We will also check the benchmark number towards the end of the video. Okay, so first we will talk about BGMI. So 3, 2, 1. Let's see here. Both of them have the gaming dashboard. I'm not going to touch the screen. Let's see if 870 does the trick because it's really a much more powerful processor compared to the 860. And as you can see, I think optimization is taking the cake here. The Poco X3 Pro seems to be loading much faster. Remember, both the devices are connected to the same Wi-Fi, which is 100 Mbps fiber optic. Okay. All right. So the 870, of course, won there, although it's playing a cutscene, which I don't want to see. So let's go to the main screen on both the devices now. Let's go here, let's go here. Okay, let's see. We have both the games in memory here. Now, Call of Duty Mobile, 3, 2, 1. Let's see here. The activation logo coming first on the Poco X3 Pro. These are really interesting results because, you know, if you were to go ahead and let's see, I think, yeah, that's really weird. The Poco X3 Pro is winning the Call of Duty loading screen there. Let's see here. Yep, the Poco X3 Pro clearly won that one. So we are 1-all over here and we are both on the home screen. So let's see, it's asking me to log in and stuff. So let's take that to the home screen. Now let's go to Genshin Impact on 3, 2, 1. Almost at the same time is what we have launched. Now let's see what happens here. Now understand guys, the testing methodology might not be the best or the most perfect one, but yes, we are doing some interesting stuff here. Poco X3 Pro launching Genshin Impact really quickly, which is really weird. Okay, now let's go back to the main screen and we have Among Us. So 3, 2, 1. Let's see here. I think the 11X loaded it first. Yes. Let's see which one do you guys think? Quickly go to the comment section and tell me. I think the Poco X3 Pro is slightly faster there. So that's what I've been trying to say, that, you know, in these usage scenarios, the chipset doesn't really matter a lot. Now we'll go to the benchmark applications here. So let's start with Antutu. 3, 2, 1. Let's see here. Once again, Poco X3 Pro is doing it quicker. Geekbench, 3, 2, 1. Let's see here. Wow. The Poco X3 Pro is going faster all across the applications and games. So CPU throttle test, 3, 2, 1. Once again, X3 Pro is quicker. Accu battery, 3, 2, 1. Well, almost similar timing there. Telegram, 3, 2, 1. Similar timing. Gmail, 3, 2, 1. Poco X3 Pro is the clear winner there. Now Twitter over here, 3, 2, 1. Okay, similar timing on both the devices and ROMs. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. Yep, Poco X3 Pro is the clear winner there. Now let's go to normal applications, which are built-in applications to the ROM. You have the phone, messaging, Chrome. I have a web page loaded on desktop mode, and then the basic Google camera application, the app that is included in the ROM. Now let's go to the phone app. 3, 2, 1. Okay, once again, Poco X3 Pro doing the job. Messages, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Poco X3 Pro winning once again. It might be the faster animations, I don't really know. Camera application, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Poco X3 Pro doing a much better job. So we are through with all the applications now, including boot times and all the other things. We are noticing that the Poco X3 Pro is performing much better compared to the Snapdragon 870. Now that is what custom ROM optimization can do to your device. Now we will look at applications which are in memory. So let's go to the multitasking menu over here. And let's go to the first application on both the devices, that is PUBG Mobile or BGMI. So let's see here. Okay. So this guy is holding it in memory. That's where a second difference comes into the picture. Both these devices are running 6 GB of RAM, remember. So no problem there, Poco X3 Pro, you were loading. Now let's see what happens with Call of Duty Mobile over here. So let's see here, Call of Duty Mobile. Okay, it's reloading on both, so nothing to write home about there. What about Genshin Impact? Okay, it's sort of on the home screen on both the devices. Really weird sort of behavior. Now let's see here, Among Us on both the devices. Okay, it's in memory for both the phones, so nothing to worry there. Now let's talk about Antutu benchmark over here. Wow, reloading on both the devices. And next up we have Geekbench in memory. So let's see CPU throttle test in memory. So let's talk about Accu battery here. Okay, it's in memory on both the devices. Now, system applications in memory doesn't really matter. So memory management more or less on both the devices is similar, although the app opening speed, opening performance has been better on the Poco X3 Pro, including the reboot timings and stuff like that. Now, let's quickly go ahead and talk about the benchmark numbers on each device. Okay, so first let's talk about AnTuTu benchmark over here. So 661, 642, 579, 697. So around 80,000 points of difference. And as you can see, the temperature increased 6 to 6.5 degrees and 4%. So very similar performance apart from the numbers, which is of course hardware is what we are talking about. Then let's talk about Geekbench numbers over here. Let's see the last run that we had on both the devices. 754 single core, 815 single core, 2513 multi-core, 2790 multi-core. Now, this difference should be much more pronounced on MIUI, but that's what custom ROMs do to you. You might not get the best and you will get pretty decent performance. Now, that's the whole story behind this comparison. Even if we talk about the CPU throttle test, well, we'll have to look at Google Photos for the screenshots. So let's quickly go ahead and open that. Okay, average score on Poco X3 Pro 176, 583 GIPS, 93% throttle. Average score 193, 282 GIPS, 84% max throttle. So even in the benchmark numbers, it shows that, this is a 860 versus a 870. But apart from the benchmark numbers in day-to-day usage, because this is an initial build and because this is a slightly matured build, what you experience over here is that in normal use case scenarios, the Poco X3 Pro is performing much better. Even if we talk about Google Feed, let's see here, they're both on the same Wi-Fi. Let's refresh the Google Feed on both the devices here. It's loading. Okay, loaded, similar content, right? So, on the Mi 11X, we still need a little more optimization is what I would say, because as you can see, the fluidity is almost similar, but sometimes the Mi 11X is stuttering. So all in all, pixel experience, side-by-side speed test, Poco X3 Pro versus the Mi 11X. The Poco X3 Pro is a clear winner, and I will clearly state that this test was done for fun, but there are a lot more fun videos coming like this. We are also going to compare the K20 Pro to the Poco X3 Pro, because the K20 Pro has a 855 and the Poco X3 Pro has a 860, very close processors in terms of performance, and those tests will be amazing. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see more tests like this between different custom ROMs and different devices. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.